Now you need to tell what it is then.
Okay, I am going to be using today different types of herbs, some dry herbs, some fresh herbs, and some sort of like liquid form herbs. First I'm going to start with my vegetables that I steam. I like to put a little olive oil on my vegetables I'm going to steam with a bit of dried herbs and then steam them just to give them a bit of flavor so that I don't have to use so much salt after. So this is a mix of oregano, celery, mustard seed, what else is in there? Some thyme, balsamic, and so this is just a mixed herb mix and it's dry. And I just sprinkle it over my fresh vegetables like this. And I mix them together with the olive oil in there. Oops. Like so. And I just like to make sure it's nice and coated. I'll put a little bit more olive oil in there. And this has a really nice flavor, adds nice flavor and smell to the herbs. It feels nice and Mediterranean because of the olive oil. And my water's already boiling, so I just put this in there like this and let my fresh vegetables cook like that with the dried herbs, and it helps to soften them up and make a nice addition. After that, I'm making tuna steaks, where I'll be using a mix of dried herbs and fresh herbs. Can you pause it? We're making tuna steaks, which has like an herbal paste on top of them. So I will be using a mixture of dry herbs and concentrated herbs and some fresh herbs. So I need one chopped chili. I'll be using half of a garlic clove chopped. This is concentrated coriander, so I'll only use one. I'll use like half of a tablespoon. I need to use some coriander seeds, so this is coriander, about half a teaspoon of that. I also have to have the juice of one squeezed lemon, which I have here, and then I also need some fresh basil, which I'll get from my herb garden on the windowsill. So I'll show you. My herbs grow outside my window here, and I usually cut my fresh herbs with a scissor because, like we saw in most of the videos from our module, that basil bruises really easily. I don't chop mine. I just usually cut it with the scissor because I find it easier. So I just chop off basically whatever I need for my recipe. This recipe calls for a little less than half a cup, so I try to take the biggest leaves to leave the other ones that are growing. Okay. So I'm just chopping the basil with the scissors. I just group them together, and if you get too big of pieces, you can always pick them up then. Put some more, and I just need to add some fresh pepper. And then I'll just mix this whole mixture together here. And this makes just like a really nice flavored herb topping for the tuna steaks. And then I'll just season both steaks, both sides with this. Just turn them over. I'll let them sit for just a little while for that juice to soak in, and then I'll sear them. So my vegetables have been steaming for a little while now, and God, you can just smell those herbs, and it's just coming up really nicely. They're almost done. So I will.
Put something extra in.
Oh, and I added some tomatoes because I'll add some basil at the end. Fresh basil goes really nice with them. I wait to add the tomatoes sort of to the end because they stew really quickly. So my tuna is done now, so I'll go ahead and sear them. I just need to actually turn this down a bit. So those are the tuna steaks that are marinated. So I'll start with this one because it's a bit bigger than the other one. I have just like 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there. Well, with tuna, you usually serve it, I guess, like medium rare. So you want to be able to see the side of your steak so you can see how far up it's cooked. I could have did this the wrong way around, but so you can kind of see how far it gets cooked on one end, so you know when it's a good time to turn it. So it only takes about a minute on each side. So I'll go ahead and put my other one in. It's just slightly thinner, so I wanted to wait. And I'll just go ahead and put the rest of that herbal juice on there. So the big ones, that should be good. Yeah, so it makes this when the herbs are on top, you don't want to overcook them or burn them, you just want to get it nice and sealed. So tuna steaks don't take very long, they take about 2 minutes. So go ahead and let that one cook through a bit. A bit bigger. I'll go ahead and put this one. So I'll just let those finish up, and then I'll serve everything on the plate. Okay, so our tuna steaks are done and seared. Our vegetables are steamed. They smell amazing. Everything smells really wonderful. So I'll just add some fresh basil at the end to complement the tomatoes in my vegetable medley, which is cauliflower, carrots, and some cherry tomatoes. So I'll just chop some fresh basil over it, a little over the fish, just to give it that last kick of fresh herbs toward the end. And that's it.